it's time to break down lick number 3. So the first part of the measure is sort of a syncopated 16th note pattern. So you see the weird rhythm on count 2. I sort of like to divide that beat up in my mind and think of the first half as the first part of the measure, and that little 6-tuplet note that you see, I like to sort of group that in with the second half of the measure and think of it almost as like a pickup to count 3 in triplet form. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And if you play count 3, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, triplet 4. 1, 2, triplet 4. I guess it ends with the rim shot there. So putting those two halves of the measure together sounds like this. The second measure starts with a 5-stroke roll into a paradiddle left, where all the left hands are accented, and that rudiment is actually called a grandma. Not sure why they're called a grandma. I've always just known them as that. I guess it sounds sort of like a wobbly sound, and I picture a grandma slowly wobbling down a hallway or something. So you have the 5-stroke, the grandma, and then there's a backstick herta, and I'm going to throw up a link to my backsticking video that I did many years ago if you want to check that out. So at tempo, that grandma rudiment is pretty blazing fast. And the technique using your right hand is going to be just like the diddle double stroke that I talk about in the Sanford variations. So you're playing sort of a low double with the diddle on the second note. So to break down the third measure, I just want to start by playing some flam accents. And it's in 16-note form, so you got 1, 2, ready, go. We're going to release low. And this little left-handed accented herta thing, I was just messing around with flam accents, and somehow the idea popped into my head to just hang that accent back, that flam on the left hand, hang it back by a 32nd note so it becomes a herta instead of a flam. So instead of, you have. So the flow of the rudiment should feel exactly like flam accents. It's just a very slight variation in the rhythm. Same exact sticking. Then we're tossing a cheese on the second right hand accent. Then coming off that section of the measure, just finish it off with a paradiddle into a left-handed triple stroke. So on count 4, you have paradiddle triple at 1, paradiddle triple at 1. The last measure and a half is all really just sort of a filler, nothing very hard. It's all centered around a dotted 8th note. So let's hit the whole lick down tempo. So at tempo, that grandma rudiment is pretty blazing fast, and the technique, hey, Nala, Nala.